I don't know what to do.
Could you try muting yourself right now?
Okay, let me try that.
Hi, you all. Are you hearing it? No, it's still there. Still there?
I'm not hearing what you all are hearing.
You aren't hearing echo?
No.
Oh, good for you.
So
I don't have anything else on. I've only got my phone. I don't have anything else that could be on either.
Yes.
And I just have my. It's me.
Do you have more than one device on?
No. Not on Hangouts. But let me. You know what? Maybe it's my. Hi. Can you hear me?
I think it's gone.
Yes.
No, it's still there.
No.
It's still there. Do you have more than one device on, like your iPad, your phone?
Yes,
no.
I switched off.
I have my computer on, but it is.
Should I stop and start again? But I don't know how to do that. How to get back to Okay, should I hang up and call you?
I don't know who it is. I thought it was me, but now I don't think so.
Yeah, I have only one device in front of me. Because when I was talking to Allison, there was no echo.
Maybe it was Allison. Oh, I've got a. Whoops.
Okay. Still there. Should I just continue without? Oh, it's quite irritating. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Okay. Hello? Still there. I think we'll just continue with the echoes. Beata, do you hear the echoes?
Yes, I hear.
You hear the echoes. Oh. Hi, Camilla.
Hi.
Do you hear any echoes?
Yeah. Yeah, it's echoing. Yeah.
Okay, let me shut it down and come back.
Okay.
Sorry, guys, I'm back now.
Oh, there's no echo now. Oh, the echo is gone.
Have we lost people?
Yes, because there was an echo, and to see if she would start, that would help with the echo to disappear, and it disappeared.
Okay.
But she hasn't come back yet.
She hasn't come back.
Okay, I've lost a picture because I hit a button on my phone again. This has happened before.
Oh,
Oh, there she is. Julian, it's
I
back.
think it's gone.
Yeah, I think it's.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what we did, but it's gone.
Jumping out just for a minute because I have a client here, but I'll be back.
Okay.
okay. See you.
Okay. So we're here. I would like us to, I think almost everyone has read the blog posts that I shared about digging deep. So I would love for us to discuss that while we share whatever we're doing, whatever is going on with us this week. So this week we'll start. So let's say Mondays will start with me, and then Fridays will start with you, Allison.
Well, maybe we should rotate it.
Oh, okay. So like, okay,
No,
that's a good idea too.
You'd have to remember the order, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Well, is there anybody after me? I mean, who comes after me?
Michelle, and then me.
That's right. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. So do you want me to start?
Yes, please.
So what am I talking about? I'm sorry. I was on that phone call. I missed what you were saying.
Yeah, we didn't do anything because of the echo. So we're now starting.
Okay.
So to discuss the blog post that I shared, about digging deep and you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I must be totally honest, I haven't read them all because I'm doing the Jasmine Star stuff.
Oh, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the one post about what was the title? I've forgotten what the title was, but where she talked about doing the work, falling in love with the process, digging deep, and presenting that.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I thought you had. You have.
Am I?
Yes.
You read it?
You commented on it, so you have read it.
Yes.
How to get noticed.
How to get noticed. Yes.
Worrying about being noticed and getting caught up in the pursuit of money.
Yeah.
Oh, probably. I don't know. I find I read so much, I don't know whether I'm coming or going anymore.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine.
I'm sure it was brilliant. Everything you share is brilliant. So it's brilliant.
Well, thank you. But it's fine. It's okay. Just tell us what's going on with you.
What's going on with me? I told you I'd done the copy for I shared that with you, didn't I? The leaflet thing. I did all these things for the classes.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, quite a lot of people take them last night.
Mm.
Which is good.
Okay.
I filled up my screen printing class.
You have? How did you do it?
Just it's only 3 people in the class because you physically can't do more than 3 with screen printing.
Okay.
And I had 3 people contact me like that. Gone.
Okay.
My problem is I've got a class next Wednesday. I think it's next Wednesday, 18. Yeah, next Wednesday, and I've only got 1 person in the class, and I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to cancel the class or whether just to see if I can find somebody to come and sit in on the class, because 1 person on their own, it just isn't fun.
Okay.
So I'm not quite sure what to do about that. What else have I been doing?
Is that the one we talked about? Was it last week or the week before?
Monday.
Where you were looking for ideas for how to
Yeah, I mean, possibly because that's why I decided to do this. I don't know. I'm in a bit of a mess because this morning was completely taken up with the hospice. I'm not really sure where I am. What did I do yesterday? Oh yeah, I'm doing that big canvas.
How is it going?
Oh, nightmare. I wanted to do it on. I've got an overhead projector, and I'm projecting the image because it's only blue and orange. So I painted the canvas orange. I'm projecting it onto the canvas, and the sun came out. How dare the sun come out when I'm anything? So that was Wednesday wasted. Oh, and I've just and then the other stuff I've been doing is with the committee. So yeah, that's what I've been doing: writing new membership rules and arguing with the chairman and all that kind of stuff. So not as much as I wanted to do, and I didn't get to hear. Was the call yesterday good with Alexis? Was it good? I need to catch up on that. So yeah, that's me.
That's all right. Yeah.
Not a lot for me to share. I mean, just head buried elsewhere.
Okay.
I was a little annoyed with her because I kind of feel like she's not really into this AIB membership, and maybe she has too much on her plate. So I felt sometimes she sounds a little bit annoyed and not really, well, maybe that's just my questions, I don't know. But I felt like she was, maybe it's too much for her. That was just my experience yesterday. We'll see how it goes.
Okay. Well, I will watch it sometime over the weekend, and I'll let you know on Monday what I think.
Yeah.
I do think she's quite prickly, though.
Yeah, I think it wasn't the same warm, hi when people came on, and the same enthusiasm, and maybe it was just because she's just been sick. But I was a little disappointed.
Oh, really?
We'll
I thought you were great.
Oh, thank you. No, I felt she just thought I was being stupid, and it was with my questions
sorry.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a stupid question. If someone
that's right.
More people think it. And
yeah, exactly. And that's why I decided to sign up for the hot seat, because I hate things like that. But I was like, I have every right to ask my question from where I am right now, as everyone else. So I decided to do it. Yeah.
Well, in my experience, people who can't answer questions like that is not a good teacher. You take whatever your students want from you. You give them what they want. You don't assume that you know, as the teacher, the answer to everything that they want. But
I think maybe if I just watch it again, I'll have another experience.
I think you should watch it again, because, and I have to tell you, we had an affiliates call, Beata, you were on with that a little later, and she was lovely, so I guess, I don't know. I think you put yourself in a very difficult position, and hats off to your courage for doing that, because I don't, when I said hot seat available, apply, I kind of went, well, should I? No, I don't want to. So you were very, very brave. And, but it didn't come across as though it were a stupid question at all. So I encourage you to rewatch it, get some distance, rewatch it, and just see, because I don't, it's different being in the hot seat.
Yeah. Hot seats are hard.
Yes.
Hot seats are hard. So yeah.
Thank you for that.
All right. Okay, Alison. Thank you. Beata, tell us what's going on with
I
you.
didn't do too many things on this week. I was suffering on and off with a virus infection, which now spread it to my hip. Inflammation. So, but I watched a few videos and participated on the call with Alexis yesterday. And I think, I really enjoyed the hot seat with you, because you were really brave, telling her that it's quite difficult to plan the whole year ahead without a big list, and a few of us in this position, and it really helped that she focused on this situation and explained that we should only plan one step ahead, so only one project, and test it. It was very useful for me.
Oh, great. Thank you.
So I like it.
Yeah.
And what else? I'm trying to develop my Instagram strategy and post it a little bit braver than I used to. And I also watched Jasmine's video, so now I'm trying to shoot a few posts together as she recommended. So that's useful.
Yeah,
And,
your Instagram posts, I think they're getting more and more. I think it's like you're opening up more and more. That's how I feel when I see your posts. So it's coming.
Yeah, me too. It's like, oh, she's suddenly starting to show us
Yes.
herself.
Yeah. Yeah.
yes, I'm trying.
Aww.
It's coming. It's coming.
It's coming. It goes a little bit slowly, but I just recognize that I need to create a new lead magnet because the vision board workshop is not enough a good hook. It simply doesn't work. Probably people are have too many things to do, and there's too many vision boards offering. So I'm going to find out something else.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, we have to keep on testing, and something will click.
I wrote down my ideas, but I don't have the paper here, so I need to find it. Then we can discuss probably on Monday.
Okay.
I will ask your opinion about it.
Okay. Okay. You can always go and get them, or do you want to wait till Monday? Okay. All right.
I would want to wait because it takes time to find it. So
Yeah.
now
Okay.
I don't want to deal with it. So thank you.
Okay. Did you read the blog post? I think you did. I think
Yes,
did you
I did.
Yeah. What were you inspired by the most?
What inspired most? I don't know.
Okay.
What inspired most?
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, thank you. Okay, Camilla, it's your turn.
Yes. I'd like to start to say that I read the blog post and it really resonated with me, and it reminded me to set time aside, to play and explore, because I still don't feel like I've found my voice. I feel I have found something that many people are attracted to, but I don't feel that's the way I'm going to be painting forever. But for now, I feel quite all right with that, because I like what I'm painting. I like that the fact that I'm selling. I like that I've been able to start a business sooner than I ever thought possible. So I'm okay with that. And I feel that just as long as I remember, and that was what I was reminded, that I will still put time aside, maybe one day a week, maybe a little time every day, to just go crazy and not think about the result, then everything is gonna grow over time. So that was what I gave. I don't want to give up my selling right now in order to do the other. So I think that's I'm gonna find a way to be more playful as it is. Yeah. And I finished my last commission this week and got it accepted, so that was really nice.
Good.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be delivering that next week, and I'm gonna try to. I feel like if I could just get another appointment, I have one who my husband, he's a consultant for my husband, or she is, and she wants us to come to her house, and I feel like if I can that would give me some peace of mind if I can have another commission and then slowly build on the brand voice, the email things and that alongside with that. But I know that I have some money coming in that would really, so I'm going to try to arrange that maybe next week. He's the one who's going to contact her. And then I've been so inspired by everything you've been posting, Shirley, and it's been, I feel like I'm so energized right now with I'm started doing the Jasmine Star stuff, and I'm really excited to be working with this brand thing again, and this this whole thing. I started doing her 30-day challenge today. I did day 1, so I'm gonna be doing that, and I hope that can help me connect with my ideal client and help me to connect with my why again, and make it easier for me to do the whole writing part of this. So it's brilliant. I really love what she's I want to create my own L.
Yeah.
I do.
Call her Ellen.
I'll have an Ellen. No, it's been great. So excited to be working on that, and also going to try. I started watching the how to create content for a month video today, and I hope I just watched the first 15 minutes, but I hope that even though it's food and completely different things, that there's still useful stuff. I feel like there was in the first 15 minutes things I could use. Yeah, that would. Yeah,
that's wonderful.
I feel like Beata. Sorry.
No.
I feel like Beata. We're going there. We're getting there. It's slowly, step by step. It's okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Alison.
I'm sorry. So something sprang into my mind as you were speaking, Camilla. In fact, 2 things. I'll do the thing. First things first. If you're going to this person's house, when you go to somebody's house, do you take a gift with you?
No, I haven't done that.
I've
just been to one person's house before, and I didn't.
If you go to friends' houses for dinner, do you take anything with you?
Mm-hmm.
If they've cooked dinner and something, I would give like a hostess present.
Yeah, but your hostess present could be a very small version of what you already do, and this woman, that your husband knows, maybe you could take her a little. Let me think what that is in centimeters. That's probably a 20 by 20 centimeter. Little version of what you already do, all framed and ready to go, so that she's got a taste of what you do. She already knows she likes what you do. You've given her something, she's therefore more likely to give back.
That's a good idea. I like that.
I mean, I wouldn't do it to people that you don't know if they like your work, because then it becomes a bit presumptuous, doesn't it? But if you know somebody's interested, it might just be enough to push her over the edge.
Yeah,
that's good. I think she's been following me, and she's been talking to my husband like once a week for the last, and she's been warming up to this, and last time they were talking, and he was like, "Are you ready for us to come out and come over?" and she was like, "Yeah, we're there." So they know they want to commission probably the whole house, so it's good. But it would be a really good idea too.
It's going to cost you next to nothing, isn't it? It's just like the other thing that you asked me what I'd done, and I've just remembered is I rewrote my why.
Oh,
good.
Please share.
I was instead of talking about me, I talked about what I could do for you.
Oh,
Because
fantastic.
I just thought that was, in fact, let me see if I can find it and pull it up.
That's exactly what I want. That's exactly why I love the Jasmine Star thing. I want, yeah.
Yeah, she just made me think about it in a very different way. Here we go. It starts off, I can't see you, so you can pull faces at me now, but it starts off by saying I don't like boring beige. And I, so that first bit you already know, and I put life without colour for me is not worth living, but making art is a physical necessity. And then I've said, if you want to know my story, there's more on that later, but first I want to focus on you. What do you want from me? And it's in bold.
Wow.
It says, you visited this site because you came across on social media a flyer or recommendation, something that made you curious. I hope that you will continue to look through the site and find more works to keep you interested. How can I help you? And then I've gone through artwork, asking people if they're looking for work for their home, art classes, charity work, licensing projects, and then I've gone back to my story. And actually, I feel, although that's not what we've been taught to do with Alexis, I feel we've learned more than the other people, which is about, it's not about us, it's about them, to make them the focus of the first thing where it says about. I just think that, personally think that comes across better.
Yes.
What I love about this is it shows your very direct personality. Like you're not fluff, right? And it's a reflection of who you are in person. So that for me is brilliant.
Sorry to have interrupted, but
no, I love that. That inspired me a lot. I'm going to be reading that because I want to first do the branding bit, the 30 days, and then it's going to end with going through my why again. Yeah, so I love that.
And I have to say, she does. After I uploaded the first, so there are 2 classes that I'm sharing. So I uploaded all of the Creative Life class, but then there's the second class, which is the Path to Profitability. She does have a segment on writing your about. So I'll post, I don't know when, but I will post all those videos.
Yay.
Thank
you so much.
And then because Alison, what you've done, which is brilliant, is when she talks about creating your about, she stresses on having a call to action. So you've already put in a call to action, without even, so yeah.
Yeah. Well, kind of, yeah. It's soft.
It's not always, a call to action is saying something to get the reader engaged and having them take any kind of action, which increases engagement. So it's the same thing.
Yeah. I just feel more comfortable by turning the focus back on them.
Yes.
All the things that we've learned so far.
Yeah.
Have you read, Shirlane, just a quick, have you read Jasmine's about page? Is there anything to be inspired by there,
I actually went to her website a couple of days ago. She has changed it. I don't remember what I read, but I realized she had changed some things around. So
I will go and look.
Yeah. But back to Camilla, I will keep on saying this. You've grown leaps and bounds. I have to say it. I go back to when you were anxious about commissions.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And now you've crossed over, like so.
I love commissions, actually. I do.
Wow, who knew?
Yeah.
Would you like to come and finish my one? Because it's driving me nuts.
If I get the huge amount of money you're getting from it, yes.
That's the thing that keeps me going. Focus on the pound signs.
Yeah. So I just want to remind you that you've come a lot. You've done very well.
Thank you.
We're
I said that to my husband. We talked about it the other day. We completely also with when he's doing well. We forget, especially after we have our daughter, we forget to celebrate. We forget the small wins. We have to,
Yeah.
We have to, because there's always going to be another girl. There's always going to be,
That's the whole idea. So
yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to share?
Nope. That's it.
Okay. Wait, did you get all the well? Like everyone is saying, to go back and watch the video. I was going to ask if you got all the answers from the hot seat. If there were any more questions you wanted to ask. But I'm sure when you watch the video.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Marianne, it's your turn.
So am I the only one that is not continued with Alexis?
Me too.
You didn't either. Okay. I just wondered. Let's see. I watched 3 of the Jasmine Star videos on Monday and watched one of them, I think, a second time. Very interesting. I also looked at the beginning of the 30-day challenge that she's got. I didn't get into it, but I flipped through the pages to read what she was requesting, so I had an idea. I spent more time painting this week. I've also been up to some social stuff. Yeah.
Good.
And I've been telling people about my what my theme is and how it came to me. And last night I was out at an opening for a friend whose work is truly magical. She takes found items in, say, antique stores and thrift stores that were made of quality. Most of them are wood or metal, and she turns them into different pieces of artwork. And I didn't take photos, but I will try to add some photos that some other people took to share with you, just to let you see how playful and whimsical they are. Anyways, there were some of the movers and shakers there last night at her opening, and there are people that are in academia, and I don't really even know the person I started talking to, but they're one of the professors at the local university that have something to do with the art department. And since I didn't go to that university, I'm not as familiar. But I started talking to him. He wanted to know what I was doing, and I said, well, I had moved from realism into non-representational abstracts. And he said, well, what moves you to, what are you working with when you're starting something like this? And I said, well, the current theme is, and I described standing in the surf and watching these thousands and thousands of silver fish come through the waves and come at me. And he said, so you're trying to depict the fish? I said, well, they may show up, but I said, what I'm trying to depict is the feeling, the magic I felt in that moment. And so he questioned me about this, and he said, where can I see your work? And I said, well, I'm open for open up on Open Studios Day, and I'm going to see someone near you, so I'll try and stop by. So now I'm thinking about the fact that one of the professors at the university may stop by at my open house, and that I need to be sure I've got plenty of examples of what it was that I was talking to him about. But I've been talking to a lot of people, really, just taking the opportunity to tell them what my theme was and how I got it, and then talking about you all, only as an entity that I'm involved in. You wouldn't believe the number of women that have said to me, that's exactly what somebody told me. I need to get a group together of people that I can bounce ideas off of. 5 women so far since the beginning of the year. And they're all, like, I've just got to figure out how to do this, how to get it, get that group of people together. And I said, well, it's been very, very beneficial for me. And my my call that I had with someone whose work I've been following for about 6 years was very beneficial. And she kind of made me feel better about the fact that I've not jumped into this wholehearted. I told her I felt like this process was kind of this process of taking on marketing online, that I've had a whole lot of resistance to it. And that I was hoping that being involved in this group would massage me into action on it. And she looked at the timeline and all and made me feel like that I shouldn't be worried at all about where I stand with it, because it's just one of those things that takes a while to be birthed. And that we will all be, hitting points where we shift in one way or another in the way we see it and the way we express ourselves. Something will, revelations will continue to come in. And she said to me, if you could see where you're headed, it might scare you. She said, you're only meant to see this in pieces. And she said, expect some major shifts in how I feel about it coming. And it'll be coming, the next month and again in May. And she said that all of us should feel like it's gelled in a new fashion for us by a year after we started it. So I feel better. And she also told me that the overall theme, and we all have themes in our lives, and mine was that I master communication, the very thing that I tend to I'm hesitant about, and that I continue to master it in different ways. So my signing up for the storytelling and for the being able to understand copywriting and all of that is right in line with the direction I need to be going. She said, you have a bead on it. You just don't need to see the whole picture at this moment, or it might scare you. So I feel better.
Have you ever read Susie Orbach's Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway?
Pardon me? Say that again?
Susie Orbach. I think she's American. It's called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. She's a feminist writer, but actually, I don't believe in feminism, but that's another story. What she has to say about how we live our lives and doing something that frightens the life out of you, it takes you. It's worth doing. I mean, I'm frightened to death of this piece that I'm doing at the moment, but I know, because I've done things like this before, that I will benefit at the end of it. So you just have to jump in and you'll swim. You can swim.
Well, I've jumped in. I'm just am at peace with the pace that it's taking for me.
Yeah. Good.
Are you enjoying Marie Forleo's The Copywriting? Is that good?
I have not gotten very far into that, but there have been jewels. Every time I got a little bit further into it, there was something good. And I've shared twice with you all something that she said that I thought was very valuable. But she had comments a lot like Jasmine Starr's about finding L and describing L in depth. And I think as we're all starting to experience these courses and all these people, there's so much on the same page now. Everybody seems to be pulling on the same chords, and we're just getting it from different sources now. And sometimes it's easier to digest one of them than another. So it's all helpful. And thank you again, Shirley, for sharing all of that material on Jasmine Starr, because I will investigate it further. And I'll continue to drop things in from Marie Forleo or whatever I can get from the other courses that I'm taking.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Can I just say that I did get something the other day called "This is not a funnel. This video shares 9 inconvenient truths about the current state of the business market. Watch it if you're ready to wake up. If you can't focus, this isn't for you. You'll see." And it's all about marketing doesn't work. It's all about the product. I will watch it. It's about an hour long. And in fact, I started it and didn't finish it. And there was a really rude note that came up that said that if you can't watch this, then you're obviously not ready. But when I've watched it, if I think it's any good, I'll share it in the group.
How do people come up with these titles?
Well, obviously it's coming in thick around us. We're all drawing this stuff in. So, what can we do but decipher what works for us out of it?
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, Michelle, it's your turn.
Oh boy. Well, I'm back in action on the course, so I'm happy about that. And I certainly have appreciated seeing all the Jasmine Star videos. So thank you. I haven't gotten too far. I think I've watched 4 of them. I did pass one along to a friend because I thought it'd be helpful. But I saw something interesting yesterday on Instagram, and I thought I'd share it. I don't know how many of you have Prime Video, but if you go to Prime Video and just type in Instagram, there's one that is just one episode long by a fellow who is definitely not American. It's in English, but he talks with an accent that. But he's very direct and very focused. And I thought he had this incredible visual where and they said you could download it, but I tried downloading it and it ended up downloading the whole talk. But he had planned, I can show you this, but the types of posts, he had you brainstorm on this video for 5 minutes on the type of posts you could put in. And then he said he had gotten this plan from somebody else, but in the center it says ultimate blog plan. In one are posts that says be human, another be promotional, be controversial, be engaging, be timely, be entertaining, be generous, be useful. And I thought that was just excellent, an excellent way of looking at it. And I tried to take I'll pass this on to you. I took a snapshot on my iPad of the screen. I'm not sure whether I'm going to be able to actually visually read any of the detail because each of these things had different attributes like be human, inspirational, holiday, and what he does is he does a blog each day and goes all around the circle one post, and he has and he keeps a spreadsheet that has 5 different categories: you, someone else, or something else, your product, videos, and the stories that last 24 hours. And he puts these all on the spreadsheet and then goes one to I mean, he's very systematic about it, but at the end it left me thinking, that's great. That just really is great way to do it. And pardon me?
What's his name?
I don't know, but I will try to. Do you get Prime Video there? Let me see if I can. Oh, okay. Well, I'll try to get all that information together because it was just so quick, and it's so. And then he says he doesn't. I'm not sure that I necessarily agree with this, but he also varies the time of days that he posts. He doesn't always post the same time every day, and he looks at it like a screenshot with the bars of a graph in different colors going up and down. It was fascinating. But anyway, I found another website. It's called and maybe you all know it, because in trying to come up with videos and the sound bites articles for my course, I came across this thing called 99u.adobe.com. And they have a whole host on creative breaks, when you get stuck. Your biggest rival is your best asset, all about art for artists, and it could be visual or writers. And I just found that I'm feeding a lot of those types of, because what I've done is I've taken the modules of my course and I've got them worked out so that I can add, where I'm taking material that are articles, videos, quotes, and the action, that I want them to take in doing this. So it's getting so structured, and I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I feel like, okay, it took a while, but, because I was feeling this way back last fall, and then all of a sudden I wasn't. And I go, let me look at that.
Okay.
So that's about it.
Michelle, Was it just a search for Instagram on Prime Video?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you call it up? And I can tell you there are two. One that isn't rated so well, and this one I think was rated 5-star.
Okay.
It has a photograph of a woman.
So I can see, there's a freaking, I don't know Prime Video, but there's a free trial period.
Yeah. It's from Amazon. So, you know, and I thought that that I could just download that, but I couldn't. But I'll post it to our group when we're done. And I apologize. I had a little bit of a problem. I don't know why. During our conversation, all of a sudden I wasn't getting the Wi-Fi on my iPad, but I was getting it on my phone. So I went back and forth. Now I can see all of you. I was just seeing myself. I said, okay. So
technology.
Anyway. And that's the second time that's happened today. So I'm beginning to suspect that maybe I'm up at my upper limits of storage capacity. It had, you know, like I have about 1,000 Kindle books. I think I need to let some go.
So,
but anyway,
yeah. What I'm getting from what you're saying, maybe it's your background as an architect. Maybe it's your personality type. But what I'm getting from this joy you're feeling with all these things is the structure, right? Really having everything structured and a plan, and you know, these pieces of the puzzle fitting together. Is that what
maybe, but I think it's more progress because, you know, I'm the definite creator thing and type, and so, you know, it's just getting yeah, it could be that, it could be problem solving, I don't know, but I'm not so sure. It's beginning to make sense, which I think in all of when you're trying to put a course together and you're looking at all the attributes, it's something that is easier for me to do in person because I see where people are struggling, or when my words are kind of going whoosh, you know, and like, but when you're doing it online and in particular trying to pay a close attention to these 4 attributes that she talks about learning, you know, like you're answering the questions, why, what, how, if, or, you know, you share, you engage, you execute, and then you know, it is a formal structure. And when I did the test, I came out at if, so I live in the possibilities. So, you know, and she said that really to make this course worthwhile to anybody taking it, you have to go into all 4 types of learning. You can't just stick in your comfort zone. So maybe it is structure, Shirley-Ann, but I don't think so, because I'm not necessarily the most structured person, even though I've butted my head against it all my life with the architecture. I don't know. But
okay,
maybe.
Well, I'm
now happy. You.
Yes, me. I've had a conflicted week.
Really?
And not in a bad way. One part of me says, you know, I have all the tools, I have everything to make the online process work. Right. I don't think I've shared this before, but I had a blog and I was blogging every day and I was posting it, but it was postpartum, so it was quite depressing at the time. But so I don't share it because I don't like what I was writing at the time. But I know what the process is. I know how to, I was blogging every day. I had MailChimp. I didn't have a large list, but at the time, I wasn't selling anything. I was just writing, you know. So there's one part of me which says, you know what to do. You know what to do to make this thing work. And then there's this other part of me which is being so the artist, and I'm just looking at all the posts on like everywhere upon Mary Oliver's passing. My friends, my best friend and I are huge Mary Oliver fans, and we're just sharing her posts and reading her poems and bringing out all of our books.
And I just ordered a book this morning of hers.
Really?
The one by the back, or it's the one that she won a prize for. That's funny.
Yeah, I ordered that yesterday.
Oh,
I didn't even. I have to tell you, I'd never heard of her. I had never heard of her.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody around me, and I mean all the artists, and I mean everybody was talking about her. I'm like, how on earth did I not hear about this woman?
Yeah,
never heard about it.
Really?
I have to look her up now. What was the name again?
Mary Oliver.
Mary Oliver.
Yeah.
So yes, yes. Were you saying something? Okay, so I'm thinking about Mary Oliver, and another thing I did this week was to just get out of the whole marketing thing for a minute, and going back to, for example, I have these 2 books. This is called Simply Irresistible. And then,
that's perfect.
And then this one is Seductress. These have been my inspiration for being Madame Simone. And I realized I hadn't touched these books in about a year, because I've been working so hard on this machinery that I haven't been immersing myself in the content, in the actual work. And I'm reading about these women, and I'm just asking myself, there are women in these books from the 16th century, 17th century, till now. And there was no internet, right? This is where I say I'm conflicted. There was no internet or anything, but we're still talking about them. We still remember who they are. And it's because of how they lived their lives. Coming back to Mary Oliver, she's obviously a writer. It's because of her words. I go back to somebody like Frida Kahlo. We still remember her and talk about her. It's because of the art she produced. And so I'm feeling this conflict because spending all this time, this effort, this energy on making this machine work, and it's as if my soul is saying, forget about all of this and focus on the work itself. Focus on the writing and the conversations with women, and go back to the fashion and the haute couture and what you love, and the women who I love the so with the Seductress, she describes these women as women who ravished the world and their lost art. And that I wish I could just take that title and make it my own. So it's just this conflict, it's this conflict, because if you go down into my Instagram post, I have no problem with writing and sharing what's going on, and so I'm just conflicted. So because of my state of being conflicted, I've just been writing. I've just been writing in my journal, writing, looking for the answers and the next step. So it's been a very conflicting week. But there's something I have to share, which is so funny. And it has to do with, remember last week I talked about money and selling something right when I had to pay my assistant. So this is so crazy, but it's another sign. So there's someone who I follow on Instagram. I think she just shops every week, and then she sells what she bought. Like, she sells a quarter of what she bought. She's a little, she's crazy, and I love her. So she was selling, she posted these gloves before Christmas, and they were Oscar de la Renta gloves, and they were from a particular season. I watched the fashion show. I was obsessed, so as soon as she posted the gloves, I could recognize them. And I was like, oh my God, I wish I could have these gloves. So she posted them and I sent her a message, and the gloves were going for $600. Before Christmas, there was no way I could spend $600 on gloves. Like, I have a son. No, I mean, no. So I sent the picture to my best friend and I said, oh, I'm not going to say it's okay. I'm going to let my heart break. I'm going to feel the pain, of not being able to have these gloves. I'm not going to pretend and say it's okay. So she laughed at me, no big deal. So two or 3 days ago, she sent me a message. And when she sent me the message on Instagram, it was blocked. So I told her to send me a snapshot. So she sent it to me, and it was the gloves. And I was like, what's going on? So apparently Lily, who was selling the gloves, she has a different Instagram for where she sells her stuff. And I wasn't following that one. Long story short, she's reduced the gloves from 600 to 300. And she's added a second pair, and they're both brand new. They're both still in their boxes and everything. So I was like, I'm not in a course right now, so I don't owe anyone, any money or anything. So I sent her a message and I asked her if I could have both, and if I could pay $200 a month for 3 months. And she was happy. She was like, oh, these gloves had your name on them, Exactly. About an hour later, my one collector in Norway sent me a message, and she said somebody saw the rose that I sent to her for Christmas, and they want the same thing. So she sent me her she sent me her contact, and this person has ordered a rose, and I'm like, what's going on?
I'm getting goosebumps.
It's as if universe, the life is telling me to just be myself and not forget about all of this stuff, but just be myself. Follow my heart and trust.
Jen Sinclair, in her Badass book, is talking about how she buys an Audi even though she should buy the Honda, and she's, because buying the car she doesn't she can't afford, she's forcing herself to vibrate at another level, like she's forcing herself to be the woman who can afford an Audi, and which means she makes the money much faster than she's ever made any money in her life. So she's like, moving up, and you're doing the same. That's so great. I love that.
Well, thank you. So I've been quite dazed, but definitely happy. And so I just want to, I'm not giving up the internet, but I want to focus on the real work. Whatever that means. So,
well, that sounds very familiar.
Yes, I'm sure I'm sure you know. So that's,
I'm feeling you. I am feeling you.
I think that's what's going on.
Maybe it's just the amount. I keep thinking that I just have to get it down into an amount I can handle. So the majority of what I do is not about the online stuff. It's more about the development of me. Because without that, there's no heart in the rest of it.
That's really true.
And then once that is there, when you share it, maybe that's when there's resonance. I don't know.
I think so. I mean, I am holding out. Let's just say that the part of me that would rather not look at the facts and would project into the future what I want believes, it's like you and the gloves. I believe if I spend the time with my heart in the work, that I don't know who it's headed for, but it's headed for somebody and for somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, and that it'll get where it needs to go, and I will have a way to move it, or some, you know, people will show up. They show up, you know, when you least expect it.
Yeah, that's so true. That's evidence. So,
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
This is like my client that came in today. She'll be back. She's coming back at 1. So she bought a painting maybe 2.5 weeks ago, and she really liked it, but she wasn't sure whether it was the right size. And she then emailed me and said, "Can I come back for the larger one?" And I thought she was going to trade it in, but no, she wanted both of them. And that was yesterday. And then she said, "Can I come back in today?" Because she wasn't sure. She took 2 home and was going to return 1, but now I'm sending her home with 4. I mean, two of which she's already purchased, but the other 2 to decide which is the better. So sometimes it just works that way. You know, when I was starting to say, "Oh, I need to buy this video equipment." Yeah.
Okay. So, onward.
Yeah.
Onward.
Well, I'll put the awful diagram that is probably illegible and try to find out who he is yeah.
Okay. And I'll continue to upload the second Jasmine Star program. It's just to let you know, the Creative Live class was a 1-day class, which obviously was broken up into these videos. And she used the Creative Live. I'm only giving you the figures to appreciate the mechanism, not because I want you to know what the value is. So the Creative Live class was, I think, $149. But like I said, Creative Live has a massive platform. If you teach a class on Creative Live, you're made for life. You know? Well, of course, the class has to be good, because they've all people teach and they didn't benefit it anyway. So she taught, it was such a brilliant strategy. She taught the Creative Live class, right? She created the 30-day challenge, which was part of Creative Live. And I don't know if you know, but on Creative Live, if you watch the class live, you don't pay anything. It's free.
Wow.
It's free when it's being broadcast live.
Wow.
So she taught this class on Creative Live. She created the workbook, the 30-day challenge, for anybody who bought the class, right? So you couldn't get the workbook if you didn't buy the class. She created a Facebook group for the people who wanted to go through the challenge. She was in the Facebook group, you know, just not necessarily, you know, just dropping in here and there. And then at the end of the 30 days, she announced her class, which went for $2,400. Right?
Okay.
Now, I'll tell you why I was upset. I get upset with these people because when I bought the 2,400 class, because, you know, you watch the Creative Live class, it was incredible, right?
Yeah.
When I bought the 2,400 class, it was yet another class that she had taught in person and was just videoed. So the $2,400 class was simply a 2-day class, a 2-day event that she had with about 20 people in the audience, taught this class about 2 years ago, sold the videos to us for $2,400, and it was a 6-week course. And I would say the only difference was her being in the Facebook group and answering questions and doing lives every week, etc., etc., etc. But in hindsight, I think the Creative Live class delivered just about the same amount of value that the second class delivered. But I'm just showing you the strategy. It was a brilliant strategy. Brilliant strategy. Because this was a class that people had paid her to teach. and she sold the recordings to us. So some of them have it figured out and they're doing well. So I'm only sharing this process to make you, so as you go through the videos, you'll understand the progression of the whole experience. So, okay. All right.
Thank you again.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay, so anything else? Okay.
Elsa. It's raising your hand.
One more thing. I'm really excited, and I probably shouldn't say this until it happens. But I'm going tomorrow to see a lady who is a master printmaker, and I'm going to be buying an old printmaking machine off her.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
For £250. So what's that, about $320? And they start at about £2,000, so $2,500.
Wow. Wow. That's incredible. What is it? What kind of printmaker is it? Is it a traditional kind or a modern?
I think it's got hydraulics and it's got you pull it down. I'm not really sure. I just know that it was going up for grabs. I'm about to start the printmaking bit of my degree, and rather than travel all the way down to the town where there's a community printmaking group, which is probably a 45-minute drive from here if the motorways are good, I have one in my own studio. Make life a lot easier for me.
Well, that's exciting. Show us pictures. I'm sure you'll get it. It's a done deal.
I'm sure I will. Decorating the heart has paid for that. And when I came out of the hospital today,
I loved it. Oh, here's my group.
The girl said she thinks she'll have a phone call for me soon about another heart.
Oh wow!
Wow,
that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah, it has helped.
Yeah.
We'll see. Fingers crossed. Nobody's paid me though. I'm still waiting for loads of people to pay me. It's getting a bit mad.
Yeah, it's all in the Okay. So
did any of you just one last question? Did any of you watch the Holly something from the AIB? The thing she did? No.
I was going to, but I haven't done it yet.
No. Okay. Okay. I just wanted to see if it was.
How easy is it for us to share things from there? Because it looks as if it might be quite interesting for the rest of the group. What this girl has done is she's taken Alexis's program and rewritten it to be her program, and she's sharing that with us so that we can see how we make changes in order to produce the same results. Does that make sense? But I don't know. I mean, I will watch it, but I don't know how easy it will be for me to share it with you guys.
I don't know if we can, because we have the email with the playlist, and I don't know if it's possible to forward the email with the recording.
My son on it, because I think he knows how to hack these things and do it. I haven't got a clue.
Oh boy.
Guys, Holly Carlton.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, that was just my final question.
On my list of things to
I
do.
always have to decide if things are worth spending an hour on watching. It's there's so much, and I just want to watch the Jasmine Star stuff.
Yeah, Jasmine Star's definitely a hit.
Okay, well, gonna go have dinner.
Weekend, everyone.
Yeah, everyone, you too.
Take care, everybody.
Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.